So I've been on YouTube. What you been watching?
Oh, man, Invincible, Mr. Benja. Have you
Oh,
been checking out the latest Invincible?
you know what? I wanted to wait till all the other episodes finished dropping, so I didn't get caught up in the weekly thing. So I got to
Yeah.
wait till all of them finish, and then I'm gonna go through it.
Guess what? They're done.
Okay, good.
So you can watch all of them. Yeah, I think I told you when it first came out last year, I went and binge read, not binge watched, but binge read all of the comic books, and so I know where the story's going. But I tell you, man, it's intense, just like it was last year. We talked about Invincible, the TV show, the Robert Kirkman series about a young superhero that's learning difficult truths about being a superhero. And just like last year, it's the same intensity in the finale like it was not last year, but a couple years ago with
Yeah,
the big battle, that the meme that went around the world. I don't think it's getting a lot of push right now. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because the weekly push, people are just not talking about it as much. I don't know. Seemed like last year everybody just jumped on it. And then all of a sudden this year it got quiet. I don't know. What's the you're more in these internet X thread streets, Mr. Benjo. Are they talking about it at all?
I can't remember what was going on around the time that the Invincible season 2 dropped, but I remember it wasn't a big push, and there was something else in my mind space that was taking up all the air in the room.
Yeah.
I don't think they ever recovered from that initial push and just
Mhm.
let it sit. So now with these second set of episodes coming out, if I felt like they just didn't do anything with those either.
Yeah, that's a challenge. So maybe I think what happened too was people caught up on it. The first season was so complete, they did all 10 episodes at the same time. People jumped on back on it. But when you split up seasons like this, but I see why they did because I didn't know these episodes are almost like 45 minutes long. Animation 45 minutes long is crazy. As a
Yeah.
matter of fact, they do a joke in the one of the episodes about how they get some of this. It's funny. They talk to a animator in the actual cartoon. He said, "Hey, how do you get so many episodes out so fast?" And they did jokes and said, "Oh, sometimes the artist will put the hand over the mouth of the person so you can't see it move. Sometimes they do wide shots, and they did that in the episode. Sometimes they use different animators, and you saw the animation was different. So it was funny. They did a little joke on how long it takes to get these Invincible episodes out. But yeah, it's a great show, man. I definitely think Robert Kirkman, man, he's got it, man. Between this and Walking Dead, this dude's gonna be eating for a long time because these are some great stories that he put together. So he's like a one man band. I think he's what Todd McFarlane wanted to become before he
Oh,
went down the
yeah.
rat hole of toys.
Hey, toys is big money, man. It's a whole thing. It's not as big as if you make it hit, but it's consistent. It's fun if you get into it, and yeah, you can just go off on your own and not do too much of the normal
You gotta have good
media prep.
stories, man. He's You gotta have good stories. So Todd McFarlane, for those that don't know, was a great big artist, comic book artist and writer in the '90s. He wrote Spider-Man. He did that famous cover, Kraven's Last Hunt with Spider-Man in the web. And he went off the deep end and just created his own company and did toys and created Spawn. But the stories are okay. I don't know. You were a big Spawn guy back in the day, Mr. Benja.
I
Yeah,
was.
but I checked it out. I was like, it's okay. And then he had three characters I think that did well. Angel, of course, Spawn, and what was it? The clown. And
Violator.
then the Violator. Four characters. But that's what I'm saying is, dude, make some better stories, and then we can have more characters of toys that we want to collect.
Yeah, he had one of those premises that is like, that's good for the first 10 issues or whatever, and then you're like, "Okay, where's this go?" And you're stuck. But he kept running it, and I think he just didn't wanna make more stories and was fine doing art and making toys. McFarlane Toys is big. Weta Toys is now big because of McFarlane Toys. I don't know if you saw our boy Raphael. He did the 3D Wolverine. I don't know if you saw that on socials.
No, I ain't seen that yet. Okay.
Yeah, he did a great Wolverine, sculpture. He did the official Black Panther sculpture too
Oh,
for us.
nice. Well, big time.
I
Ralph,
know, right?
shout out.
Shout out. But yeah, man, I'm not watching anything right now, so I'm churned out. I need to churn back in at some point.
Churn in, brother. What am I? Is there anything new I'm trying to watch? Man, yeah, it's Darf. I don't know how you say that, but basically, it's not a lot out there. I'm trying to watch right now. I'm actually going back to some old shows, but I'm trying to think. Was there anything that's interesting that came out? I saw
Well, there's
Ghostbusters with my daughter the other day.
okay.
Yeah, nothing. They're trying to make it a thing, and this is along the lines of definitely need to do this. What's it? The Entertainment IP Index. I think we may have talked
Oh,
about
yeah,
this
yeah.
briefly, but we may have to put that in there. So they're trying to create a whole IP around Ghostbusters. They even have a whole section called Ghost Corps. I don't know, Mr. Benja. That IP might be tapped out, but there's only so far you can get with this kind of my
Yeah.
comedy horror mix that they're trying to do. Yeah.
It's a it's not a bad idea, but it seems like it's too little too late.
Yeah. Be honest with you, the real Ghostbusters, that cartoon was
Mhm.
fire. I just remember watching every episode, just man, this is good stuff. It was like dramatic. They had interesting storylines, development, part two episodes. It was really good. I just remember that being a part of the equation. But since that, because it ran so long too, remember it ran like for like years. But I just don't remember any storylines that were relevant to us. Was it really that good?
Yeah,
Oh,
they're all one shots.
yeah. So
Uh,
anyway, so I think that's the only things that I've been watching, if you think.
so I got this article that came out from MSN, reading from I don't know where it was originally sourced from, but apparently a lot of shows are coming out. Ripley, Fallout on Amazon, Kaiju number 8, Shogun, X-Men 97, American Horror Story has new installments. And this is funny. This article is actually saying, yeah, don't try to have all these streaming services. You need to start churning.
Mm, yeah,
This,
send that out to the interwebs, man. I want to check that out. Yeah, to your point, I guess I am watching X-Men 97, but it is what it is. This third episode is interesting. I don't know if you checked it out yet, but they're splitting it up. They're telling the same story, but they're doing like featurette stories like they did with the old episodes. But this is a Jubilee episode. Guess what? It's a Jubilee episode, so she don't get a full episode. She gets 15 minutes. You think I'm joking? Go check it out.
that's great.
So Jubilee, to my point, I know I said this before we had Dr. Chris on, but yeah, Jubilee is not the greatest X-Men character. And that shows by how much time she was given in her own episode.
There, okay. So what happened with her to me is that she was never given a hook of a story. So most characters, you have some sort of tragic hook. Most heroes, I should say, superheroes, you have a tragic hook. Spider-Man, yeah, I live with my aunt. We don't even talk about what happened to his parents. I live with my aunt, and my uncle Ben died, and I'm a neighborhood New Yorker. I'm just trying to live and make some money off my photography and my science and save some people along the way. And there's this little tragic story about, wow, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
In my opinion, the best intro, best origin story ever.
Mhm.
Because in the blessing is a curse. And so that even Batman, yes, he has the curse of his parents dying, but it is almost a compulsion. But it's not. He already had the powers. Spider-Man already had the powers. He already had the blessing. He still got cursed. And so it's now
Yeah,
it's always a reminder. Whereas Superman, he came down and he just is, but he just has to put it in check. So it's like I'm trying to think of anybody had his greatest. That's why Spider-Man has probably endured as long as he has, because probably the greatest intro. To your point, if you have a great intro, it's like the rest of the stuff doesn't matter almost.
yeah. I was trying to think of other X-Men, but I know the original crew, they get over because they were the original crew of X-Men.
Yeah.
So it's Iceman, Angel, Beast. Didn't need to know their individual stories because
Mhm.
it's, hey, listen, we were all shunned from our societies and Professor Xavier brought us together. That was the glue that held them all together. But then you have somebody who comes later on. It's okay, if you're gonna come later on, we need to know what
Yeah.
you're about. And Jubilee
What
is
would
just
what
like,
they did? What did they do though? Let's be honest. The X-Men, if they introduced a character, the way they did was so much mystery, right? Bishop came, oh, it's Bishop.
yeah,
Gambit,
exactly.
oh, where's he
Oh,
from?
yeah,
Oh, he's got an accent. Mojiri. Cable,
yeah,
oh, it's Cable.
yeah, yeah. They went all
That's how they introduce.
they went all in on Cable, yes.
Yeah, it was just there's always mysteries. Remember they had the ones where they would show a question mark on someone's face. Who is Bishop related to?
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
big old question mark. And you just, oh, come on. But to your point, Jubilee, she's always been like the audience surrogate, and so she's a plot device. just to
Mhm.
introduce you
Yeah.
to this world, number 1. And number 2, because, she's older and has been around a while, they're just using her as this, like, internal fun-loving girl. You're always gonna be young, and she's always gonna wanna go to the mall, hang out. So it's almost, hey, she's this character that shirks her responsibility. But, like you said, there's some they could do more. I think it's just so many of them.
Mhm.
It just don't. But this classic ones, Needle's got some good ones, of course, Professor X has some good ones. Cyclops and Jean Grey, they always got some shenanigans going on.
Yeah.
But I agree, man. X-Men is tough to get that great origin story for Wolverine.
Yeah.
But Wolverine, same the issue. Where did Wolverine come from? We're gonna do origin, Wolverine origin, so you'll know where he came from, right?
I'm not necessarily getting at the fact that you need to know every bit of their history. They just have to be compelling for some
Yeah.
reason. And I don't think she was ever given a platform that was very compelling. So it's a hard problem. For every Deadpool, there's 48 other characters that they tried to introduce that just didn't catch on. So it's not an easy thing.
But Deadpool was a plot device too. Let's be
Yes, she was.
honest.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's hard to
It's
catch
like
on.
he's a mark with a
But
mouth.
but he came with the whole Weapon X program that we were interested in at the time. He was connected with the new comic book launch of X-Force. So we're launching X-Force and we have to have a new character come in. It was also
Man.
Rob
It's
Liefeld's
the
baby.
hold on real quick. I remember you was so hype about X-Force. You used to go on and on about X-Force, man. That and Turok.
Don't don't forget Shadow Man. Oh my god. How
Shadow
dare
Man. Yeah, man. You would go on and on about X-Force. Oh, X-Force. Oh, I was like, oh my God.
shut him up.
Please, X-Force, come. Oh my goodness. But yes. Okay, but I hear your point. And we saw that to say, let's go back to what we're watching was that it's her episode of the X-Men 97 to show you how her importance in the X-Men universe. But yeah, those are the ones I'm watching. And then one last thing, Shogun, just not to digress too much. Shogun is another great show you need to go check out. That's really good. It's getting better. But those are the things I'm watching. But yeah, it's not much, Mr. Benja. I wish there was more. But send me the article. I would love to understand more about how people are churning out because I'm starting to feel that too. It's almost like, not a lot to watch, really,
Well,
or
Westworld's
good
coming back.
quality
So
watch.
I'll churn back in when Westworld returns.
Oh, don't do that. Oh, Mr. Bit, don't go in that little crazy loop where you're just on the wall drawing stuff because of Westworld.
Let's see.
Yeah,
First,
I see that happening.
break out my clipboard and everything.